welcome to my channel. I am Ashley Marshall. Today I am doing a pick a pile reading for the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Let's talk a little bit about this conjunction, which I know a lot of bit about, maybe as someone who has it natal in my chart, not in Pisces, but I do understand some of the energy. So you may be hearing a lot about how today is the luckiest day of the year. The planet Jupiter is all about luck and expansion. Neptune is about mysticism and spirituality. It can also highlight our tendency to escape. So we may have to look out for wanting to escape, and sometimes we do that through numbing out, dissociating, drugs, because sometimes escapism and transcending blend a little too much, and we lose sight of which is which, right? Because we may also feel the desire to transcend to other realms. The last time we had this conjunction was during the time of spiritualism, around like the 1840s, when it became really popular to transcend the spiritual realm and speak to the dead and communicate with our ancestors. So, this conjunction is sextiling my natal conjunction in a big way. So it's really encouraging me to step out. It may be really encouraging you to practice spiritual rituals to deepen your spirituality. I would check to see where these planets are transiting your chart. So what house? For me, it's the 12th house. So, even more when it's in the natal sign, 12th house and Pisces, as it is for me as an Aries rising, it's like even more intense desire to tap into, any maybe unconscious gifts, right? Taking a sip of tea. So there may be that desire to escape, to transcend. Someone with this natal transit might be very spiritual, compassionate, meditative, mystical, but on the dark side, they can also be elusive and again have that desire to want to transcend. My natal conjunction isn't in Pisces, but I have had a lot of issues and struggles with addiction. And because sometimes it is that balance of, wanting to be in the spiritual world and transcend, not really being able to, or brought down. Someone with this natal conjunction may feel like they're brought down too much by the physical world and, earth energy and having to be practical, right? I want to spend a lot of my time doing this, but I can't live my life 100% that way. We have to have balance, right? Astrology is all about calling in balance, and not surprisingly, my natal chart lacks a lot of earth energy. So there's this desire too, not just because I lack earth energy, but also because I have this natal conjunction to, want to stay up here a lot, mystical, daydreaming a lot, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but we do have to balance it out with the practical, right? I have to pay my bills and eat, right? Which is funny because as I'm recording this, I have a banana sitting next to me and I haven't eaten, and it's like, why do I get into these videos without eating? Because I want to spend so much time up here, but eating is like a real earthly practical thing that I need to do for my human. Okay, so that's how I relate with this as someone who has this natal conjunction. So again, Jupiter has the tendency to expand. It's about expansion, growth, spirituality. It rules over Sagittarius in the 9th house. And so that is about education, growth, expanding the mind, right? And because a conjunction means that the planets are so close and Jupiter and Neptune are basically, touching, there is that expanded desire to transcend or to escape. So it can be really powerful energy, but we do want to be careful with it. dabbling in spiritual practices, and just remembering that we are our own best spiritual teachers and gurus. So not putting spiritual teachers on a pedestal. This energy can have like cult vibe energy, like getting lost in someone else's word and what they have to offer for you spiritually. I have at different points in my life not been in a cult, but have joined cult-like groups, and it's because I have that great desire to transcend, right? Everything has a positive and a negative. Everything has a light side and a dark side, because balance. We don't want too much of any one energy, right? Because then it crosses the line from being good and wonderful into hurting us and hurting other people. And what happens when we put spiritual leaders on a pedestal, right? I mean, look at some of these leaders. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they had this natal conjunction, because you can get lost to other spiritual leaders, or you can see yourself as the, one and only voice of spirituality, and that's dangerous. Some of these people will take money from their followers, right? They will cloud their minds and maybe make them do things they would never do, dangerous things. There's lots of stories like that out there. Taking another sip of tea. So there's, this energy is out there this time. Jupiter is the planet of luck. So again, look into your house to see where that luck might come up. Luck, growth, expansion. So like if you've been thinking of doing microdosing, just like, actually microdosing and not drinking the whole thing. If you feel like going on a meditative retreat and you get there and then the people are like, oh, if you donate your entire 401k, then you become a gold member. Like, just going on the retreat and taking away from it what you need, but not getting so lost and caught up in it. Okay? Because that's where it gets funky, and that's what, sometimes these transits can bring up. Okay? This, going back to spiritualism, a lot of people took advantage during that time. It was a great time when a lot of white people were finally realizing things that indigenous cultures have realized for years, centuries, lifetimes, that we can communicate with our ancestors. But, for this group of people who joined this, I think spiritualism was thought of as a religion or a group, I'm not really sure, but the people who followed and joined it, it was new to them, and it was wonderful, and they were maybe doing things like card reading and astrology and all these wonderful, beautiful things that when they are done in the right energy and the right light can be great. But also what came from that time was a lot of people taking advantage, and a lot of people getting lost under the spell of these so-called leaders. Any good leader, anybody doing a reading for you, or anybody who does connect with ancestors or the dead, is, the ones to look out for and to go to. Not that I'm telling you what to do, but the ones that feel good in your gut, that bring you good energy, that aren't asking, for outrageous things and for you to sell your soul. And I don't know, check into their free readings and follow them, for a little while before you purchase anything, maybe. And this may also be a time, like I feel it is for me, to be expanding on some, spiritual gifts. And I talk about that more in my Instagram post, and I have a fun giveaway as well that touches on one of those spiritual gifts that I would like to unveil. But I'm also coming from the place that I am not the one and only. You are the best person to connect with your ancestors and the deceased people in your life, in my opinion. But there are people who, especially around this time, are kind of coming out of the woodworks to help people connect and bring that connection. And that's something I'll be doing. I can do that with people through readings. If you want to get a reading from me, But yeah, check out my free stuff first and see if we vibe. See if it resonates for you. I think that's also really the energy of this transit. So I just want to say that. Is there anything else to say? Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get started on the pick a pile reading. Let's go through the different piles. This is petrified wood for pile number 1. If you need to see the details, you're also getting like the details into my nails. So sorry about that. Petrified wood for pile number 1. Okay, I pre-picked some astrology cards. James picked some animal cards, and then I'll do the rest live. I believe this is dragon's blood. If you're more knowledgeable in crystals and stones than I am, which is very likely, because I'm not that knowledgeable, I just have them. I just get them when I feel like good energy, but I don't always remember all the details. Dragon's blood for pile 2. So anyway, if you know more about it and you want to comment below, I'd love to hear from you and learn from you. This is, I have to look at my sodalite. So for pile 3, sodalite. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Petrified wood for pile 1, dragon's blood for pile 2, and sodalite for pile 3. Please correct me in the comments if you would like to. Okay, petrified wood, pile 1. So Jupiter, Neptune conjunction. The theme for you, pile 1, is Pluto. Okay? Taking in whatever you want to initially from this card before I get into it. You know, oftentimes Pluto is feared. And in this case, in all cases, I don't think it needs to be feared. I really feel like your theme is transformation. Okay, so I think the people who chose this pile may be going through a huge transformation on or around this transit. The symbols for Pluto, I like to read them in case you're seeing them or they show up on or around this transit. Bats, bones, graveyards, dogs, cypress, ivy. Pluto rules Scorpio in the 8th house. So for some of you, it might be transiting your 8th house. I would look into that and see if that resonates. Yeah, Pluto really brings big transformative energy, right? And I'm feeling like the people with this pile are kind of sitting on a decision. They've been sitting on a, maybe not like a do I stay or do I go, but holding something back. And I feel like this transit is going to kind of push forward this transformation. And after this conjunction happens, which is really like a once in a lifetime in this position in Pisces, so that's why we're calling it the luckiest day of the year. It's gonna like push it through for you. Like, let's get into, I don't know, maybe more about what this transformation is gonna be. Okay. So this was a James pulled card. So for pile 1, petrified wood, that's interesting how these are really matching and going together too. Raccoon. So raccoon can be a lot energy of, it's the energy of the artist. So that gives me more insight into what it is here that you, what the transformation is going to be around. So I feel like you may be coming out of the artistic closet. Oh my goodness, I wanted to pull another animal card. Butterfly transformation, get ready for a big breakthrough. So it could be like you get an offer to show your art, space for your art, to sell it. And I think like this transformation too is about like you no longer hiding. Maybe you didn't want to monetize these gifts, or you've been hiding these gifts, or someone in your family line. Hang on, I want to pull an ancestral card and see what comes through for this energy, because it could be like someone said something once to you. Yeah, okay. So shadow, darkness, this is an ancestral card. So what I'm getting from this is that this could be like an inherited trauma, or like, it's not always inherited trauma, but it's like an issue that has been, it's inherited trauma, you know, passed down through the generation. So it seems like there could have been an artist in a lineage, you know, one of the 4 lineages: mothers, 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 fathers, 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 mothers. Excuse me, taking a sip of tea. And those also break off into lineages, right? Because then your mother has the mom and yeah. So you may not know exactly or specifically like where it's coming from. In my personal readings, I can get into a little more detail with that, but since this is more general, we'll keep it general. But if I'm getting any insights on who, then I will share. Okay. Sorry, getting a little off track. Yeah, so it's like and it's not just artistry, maybe something that we would typically in the norm consider art, but a gift. So I feel like there's like hiding of this gift. There's, what's that thing? Oh my God, I thought of it earlier and I totally forgot. I had it in my mind earlier. Where anyway, you're certified, you're educated, you know what you're doing, but you just don't trust yourself. You're letting the inner critic get in the way, or maybe it's other people who kept you from sharing your gift, and it feels like there's this energy from the ancestors and from a lineage, or maybe more than one lineage, where they had to hide their gift. And so there's this energy and desire of feeling like you need to do the same. Imposter syndrome, thank you. Huge imposter syndrome going on. You don't feel like you deserve to have this success, okay? There's this inherited trauma around success, around letting yourself be seen, letting your gifts be shared and seen, okay? And Pluto's might just bulldoze that for you. In a good way, right? And of course we have some control over this, like how do you want this transformation to go, and where do you want it? This is a good day to put out verbally into the universe, or maybe write where you want this transformation to help, where you feel like this shadow energy would be best cleared. Let's get into some more stuff. Pile 1. Okay, Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. That's you. This is you holding on to your gift. The unicorn is the gift, right? You've been watching it. You've been nourishing it, watering it, staring at it. It's time to go, is what I'm hearing. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in the situation. Seeing the humor in the situation usually is when like things have been like a little bit rough, and maybe part of this gift is turning your pain into something that you can help others with, okay? Time to really, like, for this transformation to come through, we need to make space for it. So what's not working? Putting less time into it, okay? It doesn't always have to be this, like, cutting out of life energy, okay? Just spending less time doing the things that no longer serve you, that serve this gift, that serve your business, that serve a good life for you, right? That serve the fully aligned you that you want to be, okay? Yeah, we also have 5 of Fire coming out. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Ego, Archangel Jophiel came out. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. I really feel like this is going back to that raccoon energy and that inherited trauma around maybe you have lack mentality, and this transformation is really going to shift these negative fear-based thoughts that you have had, that you have inherited around abundance and success, showing yourself. and the material things that are tied to success, right? You are deserving. You're very deserving of that. Going back to the 5 of fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others, you also got the lovers, which can represent a choice, a decision. And going back to that queen of air, objective decision making, I think this is about making the space and time for this transformation. And there may be conflict with others around like this gift that you've been hiding. Maybe you've been hiding this gift because it's not appropriate in your family to be an artist or to be a card reader, right? So the lovers, Archangel Raphael, intimate relationships, carefully weighing your decisions, right? Going back to that objective decision making and good health, I really think that good health thing always, pops out because it's like, remember that when we are stuck going back and forth, when we are hiding ourselves, it's, I don't want to say it can negatively affect our health, and that, I don't want it to like scare you, but when we suppress, there's something about suppression that can lead to like, I don't know, like constipation, like a buildup, right? So it's not like these serious health things, but they can get to it. So yeah, stop shoving down your gifts, stop hiding them is what I feel like is really coming through. And this false sense of entrapment, really interesting because he's wearing the mask as well. Maybe you can't see, right? He's wearing the mask here, and so is the raccoon. So it's like I think it's like this false sense that you need to wear this mask, this false sense that you need to hide. Okay? And success, it's okay to have your success tied to material things. But if it's only been tied to material things, like you have been stressed, like I need to be successful in order to allow to give myself the life I need, and there's been like stress and energy in that direction or around that, I feel like that is transforming, and it is very much like in the theme of inherited trauma that feels like it's coming through and not yours. So yeah, I would think about what did you learn as a child about success? What messages did you get from your caretakers? And maybe you can look back, maybe if it's safe, you can talk to someone in your family about their parents and their parents. Like, what was the general, feelings on success? Because I feel like someone in the lineage before you had to hide, maybe many people, right? I want to see if there is anything else coming through. Yeah, there's like growth that really wants to happen here, which with Jupiter's help, really possible. Let's do one more card. See. Okay, inner wisdom, Athena. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Okay? I'm trying to... I like that owl energy here. Also noticing the Pluto and the petrified wood color. Yeah, so there's this energy that, like, I feel like, Pile, when you know what I'm talking about, this kind of tells me, like, I don't feel like I can get specific on it, what it is, this dream, this gift, this thing, and who is this energy that has been holding you back or maybe not allowing you to share this gift, or maybe it's yourself, but you know what this gift is, and I think that there's something that you have been wanting to take action on, right? This transformation that needs to happen, that you know, that you feel like you're already going through. and it's coming. It's just naturally, with this conjunction happening, and that thing that you have been, Raven Magic, own your power. That thing that you have been thinking about doing and taking action on, this is your sign. Okay, and this transit is all about magic and owning your power. You know, of course, doing it in the appropriate way, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, not letting anybody be your one and only authority on spirituality, and you not being anybody else's one and only authority on spirituality. You may be seeing lots of ravens or crows, blackbirds, but they really want you to, you know, the ancestors in this transit really wants you to own your gift, right? Own this special thing that maybe you have been having imposter syndrome around, holding back on. I see this really coming out and coming through in a big, beautiful way. And as it does, you're healing generations of inherited trauma around success and what it means to be successful. And this idea that, you know, only certain things bring success. So this could be a transformation on how you work, on how you share your art and gift. Maybe you're already sharing it. That wanted to come through. But there could be this transformation on how you're doing it. And it's not going to be so associated with your self-worth anymore. You're worthy no matter what. You're worthy if only you know about your gift, but you know, you're doing a disservice to others by holding it back, by keeping it secret. Other people need you. Like, there's this, with the cards, there's this real, like, spread your wings energy. And this doesn't super look like it, but it is too. She's going to. Like, look at that. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings, right? Enough. Yeah, I said earlier, like, you're still worthy if you notice your own gifts, but there's with the Queen of Air, you're witty, you're experienced, right? You're independent, you can do this. And there's like this energy of no more just watching your own gifts. It's time to spread your wings, right? So many wings. And fly and transform and share them with the world, and share them freely, right? That doesn't mean share them for free, but share them freely, and don't put so much emphasis on your gifts and your self-worth, right? You're worthy at your best, you're worthy at your worst. Okay, that felt like it wanted to be said. All right, pile one. That's it. I think that's it. Pile two. Okay, so your theme. Last quarter moon, okay? So the last quarter moon has really Piscean 12th house energy. So some of you who picked this pile might be Aries rising. Just saying that because I felt like it was coming through. And there's this energy of like dying off, shutting off, letting things end, noticing, and noticing what worked and what didn't work before moving on to the next phase. And sometimes that can be scary, right? But it also can give us insight into what is holding us back, what needs to be cleared away. Okay? Yeah, so it's like, this is kind of a death stage. Sorry, I shouldn't pull that out so soon. This is kind of like a death stage here, and it can be, there's a certain grieving process. So you may be feeling like a lot is leaving you, a lot is dying off, okay? But, you know, as corny as it sounds, it's making way. Sorry, I'm spilling cards everywhere. It's making way for the new, right? And so I feel like the people who picked this card maybe have, a lot of more like endings, wrapping up to do. And maybe have felt a little bit behind with this spring energy. Okay. So for this transit, there's also like, I feel like a lot of confidence coming through, emphasis on confidence. Okay, the stingray is all about confidence and developing a sense of confidence, and has a real desire to grow and to learn. And I just love like all the colors of and you know, representations of the different chakra here, because I also feel like it's a call for balance. Okay. The High Priestess, Archangel Haniel, listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. So yeah, holding a book, doing the research. So I feel like this conjunction for this pile is half and half. It's like half fact-based, factual-based, half intuitively based, and the chakras here are representing the balance that is needed to move forth, to make a decision. Okay. You also got the Sun, Archangel Uriel, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. Again, so there's that confidence. Yes, so pile 2, I really feel like this conjunction is going to have like a really great effect on your confidence. And the last quarter moon is like this energy. I feel like, okay, we're about to step out. So like on or around this conjunction, maybe a little bit after, I feel like people with these piles are going to have, who chose this pile, are going to have like a new offer, something that they're releasing to the world, something that they're sharing, like maybe even like a gift that you'll be sharing. And so you're really being asked to be confident about this. And it's, you know, when we're doing stuff on our own, so like, especially if you're stepping into like a role of entrepreneurship or something where you're going to be running a business on your own, it requires a lot of confidence, because when you have those bad days, it's, you have a support team, but you don't really have, you know, especially when you're starting out, like you don't really have coworkers often. So it's kind of just you relying on your own confidence, you building yourself up. Okay, so I'm hearing like emphasis on the need to do those things that build your confidence, like keeping daily promises to yourself, like making the bed, you know, starting with that. Build confidence, right? Putting the time into your passions, you know, setting aside the time builds confidence. Mirror affirmations, if that works for you, right? So the Sun is really all about confidence too. And again, similar to last pile, but kind of in a different way. Really getting some spread your wings energy here. Let's get an ancestral card going. And so I really feel like whatever you're stepping out with, whatever you're going to be offering or showing to the world, or whatever aspect of your life you're gaining confidence in, and I would check where this 23 degrees Pisces, I believe, is where this conjunction is happening. I would check to see your chart, to see what area of your life you're going to be feeling this renewed confidence in. Again, it's like getting two messages, that it's renewed confidence naturally, but also like really honing in on those things that bring you confidence. Okay? So I'm feeling the ancestral gift coming through one or more lineages of this free spirit, the rebel. Again, going back to the wings, with spreading your wings, different in the sense of like pile 2, I felt like was held back by someone in their lineage. This feels more like the gift of the free spirit. That's so funny. I picked this pile and I have a tattoo that's free spirit. That's so great. Yeah, they want this like free spirited, who cares if, you know, some things are going to work in life and some things are going to fail, and I'm confident in myself regardless energy. Like, yeah, I just feel like this inner self-love is going to be highlighted. There's this real energy that you came into this lifetime to be you, to be unique, to be different, to shake things up, to bring change. I wasn't going to pull this out, but I just looked at it, and if I look at a card, so typically in general readings, I won't get too specific about who is coming through, but if it pops up, then it pops up. So this could be a grandmother, feels like a female lineage too, because we've got some moons. Do I want to get into it and see if we okay, I'll pick another astrology card to see if there's anything more that comes out about this ancestor or this specific lineage. But there's like a, yeah, there's like a I don't give a fuck free spirit, like someone in the lineage who knows that you are this lifetime's embodiment of that spirit. I mean, you're your own, you're not exactly them, but yeah, they're coming through and they know that you have ideas and things to say, right? But going back to this, I mean, there is this dying off that feels like needs to happen. So if you're not like feeling this excitement, pile 2, right now, you know, you're still going through this energy, okay? The 10th house is, amongst other things, the mother's lineage. I won't get into more specific than that. If you want a personal reading where we do that, then sometimes I can get real specific, because the 10th house rules other ancestors. But I will say that this does clarify for me that I do think this is mother's lineage. So mother's mother is usually in the 7th house, so I'm not gonna get too far into it. I'll do it in a personal reading if you want. Sorry, I want this to upload, and I've been having difficulties with that when I go too much over, but there's so much more information that could come through, but I have to shorten it for these general ones. So let's just say that, yeah, it could be mother's or mother's lineage coming through and reminding you that you're a free spirit, you're a rebel, you're supposed to do different things different than your lineage. They're telling me to say it again. You're supposed to do things differently than, okay, not your lineage. Well, yeah, your lineage, they're saying, but you may not understand what that means because you don't know everyone in your lineage. Your living family. You're supposed to be different. You're supposed to be unique. You're supposed to be the rebel. You're supposed to stand out. What else do I want to say? And yes, yeah, because the stingray is about pressure from family. So it could also be that you've had pressure from this particular lineage to not step out and stand out, okay? So it can manifest in a couple of ways, but the message coming through strongly is, because the stingray can kind of be like, in a not nice way of saying it, like, you know, grow some ovaries, right? Get a spine, develop a spine, right? That's the spine. And stand up for yourself against family. I would never communicate it like that, but that's kind of like the harsh energy of communicating it. But it's like, have self-confidence. Do what you need to develop self-confidence. I don't really feel like that's the message. I feel like the message is you are going to be, your gift from this Jupiter conjunction is you're going to have that redefined self-confidence, right? With the sun, you are going to develop a spine. Maybe you are going to stand up to this lineage, or it could be a gift of this lineage. But I got to give all the messages that are coming through because it's a collective reading and it's not so specific. Let's see what else we got. Let's pick. Okay, whale, soul's path. Honor your soul's purpose. Okay, since this is 10th house coming through too, I do think this is like self-confidence for like your soul's passion, your gift that you want to monetize into a career. So honor it by developing that confidence that you need to see this gift through, right? I'm excited. This is exciting. This is exciting because, yeah, I feel like from this confidence, you are going to put these new ideas into motion, and maybe that leads to like something good going on for your career. I have been getting this card a lot, and I picked this pile personally, so this is really interesting. Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So this career may involve children. There's these wings again. It may involve communicating with children, helping children. Maybe your soul's path, your soul's purpose is to have children, to be a mother. The 10th house is the house. Some people will say 4th, some 10th. So just keep that in mind. There's an opinion about everything in astrology except for the math. You cannot opinionize. I don't know if that's a word. The math. But everything else is open for suggestion, I suppose. 10th house is the house of the mother, so maybe the honoring the soul's purpose is becoming a mother, adopting a child. It could be counseling children. This is tricky for me, not that I don't feel like for me personally, I don't know what it means. Okay, I put on another card, but I was too focused on myself, so I feel like that was for me, and I'm not going to share it. 10. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was like somewhat fair with the other pile with how many cards I pulled. I do feel like it's kind of nagging me to want to know more about guiding children. If that resonates with you, then please let me know in the comments. Oh my God, this is the card that I just pulled that I thought was for me, and now I asked for another one. It was the same card, and I shuffled. So 12th, Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So yeah, being your individual free spirit, rebel self, and standing out from family, standing out from everybody is going to be highlighted at this time. The temporary standstill is this. Okay, it's the last quarter moon. You may be feeling it now. I do feel like that's going to shift today and moving forward. And you may have an awakening around this. That's what's coming through to me, because I asked specifically, like, what's this children guiding thing? So maybe the people who chose pile 2 are going to have an awakening around what that means to, utilize children, or what children have to do with our soul's path and soul's purpose. I feel like I know a little bit, but so looking at things from a different perspective. So the children might be showing up in a way in our lives in a way that we hadn't expected or thought of. That's interesting. I'm feeling like that's it. I'm really hung up on this children just because I picked it myself, but I don't want to pick cards that are going to be too much for me personally. But pile 2, I'm really excited for us. I'll say us because I chose it. Oh, and I just think it's really lovely that the mother's lineage wants to come through and remind us and encourage us to be confident, to be excited about this time, to honor our soul's purpose, to follow our path, to be that rebel free spirit that we know we were meant to be in this world. Because we've got good things coming. I'm really excited. Yay! Okay, pile 2. If this resonated for you, if you have any questions, like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you. Okay, pile 3. Soda light? I don't know. Okay, so, no, you're gonna stay there. The neighbors are making some noise, so my dog might try to make some noise to match it. Okay. The theme for this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces for you, pile 3, is Venus. Okay, so a lot of people look at Venus as love and connection, but I really look at Venus as talent and self-worth. Yeah, it can tell us how we like to be loved and love to be loved, and how we like to love others. That's a lot of love. But I feel like, especially like coming up in this reading, the energy I'm getting is it's really focused on self-love. We'll see how the rest of the reading goes. That might change it. But I want to read the words that go. Okay, so the symbols for Venus are art, shells, flowers, especially roses, makeup, coins, and gardens. Okay, so seeing any of that on or around this time, I feel like is validation for this reading and spirit guides and ancestors trying to talk to you. James, no. Stay here, okay, buddy? Stay here. I don't have any treats for him, so I'm just pretending. Okay. All right. So I feel like that this conjunction for pile 3 is going to highlight the need for self-love, the need to put focus back into yourself, and going to highlight your talents and the things that you like to do in life, okay? You got Ace of Earth as well. James, come here, honey. Come here, honey. Sorry for the bark. He's just emphasizing self-love. He wants you guys to have self-love, right, James? So the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. I love this, and I would check to see if this is transiting this conjunction, or these planets are transiting your 7th house, because I do see important documents that may be signed, may be sent to you, may be coming up for review around your talents, around monetizing your talents. Are you so excited for pile 3, James? Okay. And just because this conjunction can be a little cloudy and a little it sometimes can have that energy like too good to be true, double check these documents and these contracts before you sign them and make sure that they're really aligned with you and aligned with everything that you want in your life moving forward. Okay? So the otter coming up here is really like all about joy, okay? And coming up with Venus to me is just like so perfect. It's such a pair, Otter and the Venus. Otter and the Venus. The Otter and Venus. Why? Because it's all about like contentment. And that's what Venus is about. Like, not just self-love, but doing the things that you really love to do and actually making time for them. Because yes, Venus can show us our talent, like our natal Venus placement in our chart. You can look to the house can tell you what you're talented at. So like if it was in the 2nd house, like maybe you're really good with money. Also, you might be like talented beautician, okay? So, yes, it's about our talents, and I do see this pile monetizing these talents. And again, just double checking those contracts if you're already in the midst of it. But the otter here really, okay, I'm trying to see what I'm getting. The otter here really feels like, yeah, it wants you to use this conjunction or this time to fall in love with the things that you love, if that makes sense. Like, prioritize your life around only that which brings you joy and contentment. We're gonna pull an ancestor card. Yeah, there's like a playfulness with the otter, and there is a playfulness with Venus too, because Venus is all about pleasure and fulfilling that pleasure. Allow yourself to be playful when it comes to, even when it comes to this business venture. Like, how can you make this more playful and joyful and fun? Like, how can this process be fun? It's meant to be fun, okay? Venus is also sometimes seen as a, ancestral astrology. When we're looking up our family in our charts, Venus can tell us about our mother. And the mother, feminine figure or caregiver, feminine energy from a caregiver or mother, or female energy in childhood is the one who teaches us first about pleasure, okay? And so it's really a reminder from the female lineage, mother's lineage coming through. It's really feeling like, yeah, a reminder to nourish yourself. And usually the moon's about nourishment, but Venus is like nourishing yourself with the things that you love and being unapologetic. Venus is unapologetic about pleasure, right? And, the dark side of the otter can be like a little, like stiff and gloomy. So, lightening up, bringing joy and bringing playfulness to this idea of nurturing yourself with the things you find pleasure in. Does that make sense? Comment below and let me know. Let's see what else we got. Release, Archangel Azrael, the end of his phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. I mean, this transit is all about that, right? Spiritual transformation. It's in Pisces, like Neptune, Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is, about spirituality, rules Sagittarius in the 9th house, and Neptune is, mysticism, and Pisces wants to, transcend for sure, transform. So you may be leaving behind this idea or this belief or this lack of nurturing and allowing pleasure is what I'm seeing for this pile. So naturally, like, this good luck clearing that's coming for you with this conjunction is that, yeah, it's ending a phase. You are moving on from it. You are transforming to a place where you are living in alignment with your talents and with this idea that pleasure and giving yourself pleasure and finding what you find pleasurable and prioritizing that in your life is nurturing. Is nurturing the self, is mothering the self. And someone from your mother's lineage wants to remind you that. The last pile we did try to specify maybe who, in a personal reading I can specify sometimes. Sometimes they don't want to be known. Sometimes it's just like a general ancestors coming through. It's different every time. So I can't make any promises, but sometimes we can get more insight into who is coming through. I don't know what this card is. Okay. Pallas Athena, I don't know. Symbols are craftsmen, tools, spears, shields, paintbrushes, and gold. So this is about making a plan, weighing the pros and cons of a situation, but also being the defender of your community. Pallas Athena sprung forth in full armor from Jupiter's head, this is Greek mythology, instead of being born in the more traditional sense. Not only was she a powerful goddess of political activism, she was also the patron of arts and craftsmen. So really interesting because Venus is, right, the planet of art and beauty. So yeah, there may be really this connection to some sort of document or contract of monetizing your art for abundance, possibly. And Pallas Athena, I think, I don't know or too much, but just from what I just read, comes to you to be a warrior of this energy. Be a warrior of your own energy. Protect this energy. Protect your art. Yeah. Let's see what the animal cards have to say. Cougar, confidence, be bold, and take charge. So yeah, there's some more of that warrior energy about taking charge of your pleasure. Taking charge of your pleasure and taking charge of how you express your art and beauty to the world is what's coming through. I'm feeling one more Angel Tarot wants to come through. The Star, Archangel Jophiel, happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. That's hilarious. On the right path. So pretty much just reiterating with what Pallas Athena said, make plans. So plan for this success. Plan now for this success that's gonna come. Like, how would you move, walk, breathe, be, live if you already had everything that you want to have? If the inflow of abundance and promising business venture was already in the works, okay? Happy times are ahead. There's a way that we move in the world. It's different when we know something. How can you harness that knowing energy, okay? I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you. Astara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Yes. Yes, love this, feeling it. Very Venusian, I feel like, right? Yeah, maybe the moon is a little more fertile, but so is Venus. Maybe she's not so motherly, but she's definitely associated with beauty in the arts. So I'm feeling like this is a really fertile time artistically. Just counting the cards. Make sure everything's fair. See if I need to pull anything else. Doesn't have to be exact for each pile, but I do like it to be fair. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is such validation for moving forward on an artistic venture, on, you know, accessing your pleasure points. I just realized that the music was off. When did that happen? Probably like a long time ago. Sagittarius, I wanted to pull one more. So yeah, could be Sagittarian mother energy, lineage coming through. I just like to give those details. In personal readings, I do more, as I said, but so it could be that someone is coming through with there's Sagittarian energy in the lineage, maybe in your chart, but it's also you know, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so it is a call to growth, to sorry, I'm trying to put the music back on, which makes no sense because I'm almost done, but there's this call, and I'll also give the symbols to Sagittarius if there are any. I don't know that there are, but okay, James, I'm almost done, sweetie. So yes, red flowers, sage, books, antlers, and horses. Very interesting. So you might be seeing those on or around the time, and their validation of the reading, and just that your spirit guides and ancestors are trying to come through. Also a really potent time to do like ritual work, ancestral work. Anyway, so yeah, there may be some like new area of study or just some honing in on things that you already know that you want to do around this time. And maybe some aspect of your art that you are sharing has, especially with this conjunction, this transit, has like a spiritual flair to it, or expresses your beliefs in some fashion. Yeah, so that's what I really feel like is coming through. I am feeling like this is the end. I'm really excited for all the piles. Felt like really nice energy coming through. Really feeling like, yeah, you know, Venus as your theme, that this transit may really highlight your passions, what brings you, not your passions, what brings you pleasure, right? Joy, contentment, and that's what the otter wants too. And maybe monetizing talents, okay? But also having a real balance of doing things for monetary exchange and also doing things for joy, bringing joy to these, to every interaction, joy and playfulness to every interaction. So when you enter this phase that seems like maybe it's now or it's coming up, where you're going to be signing important documents and contracts, and remember, read them thoroughly and make sure they're aligned with you, but bringing some playfulness to it, allowing your the talents that you utilize to be pleasurable, and to, you know, I think some of us may be overcoming, some of you in this pile may be overcoming these blocks around not allowing pleasure, okay? Maybe your mother or someone's in one of your mother's lineages didn't allow things to be pleasurable, saw pleasure as dirty. So working through those blocks, it may happen naturally or may come up around this time for you, since this is your theme. But I really do see this transit to be a lovely one for you. There's that balance between allowing yourself things to be playful and pleasurable, and then monetizing things. But I see really happy times ahead. And what was that? Oh yeah, like getting ready, making plans, okay? You're on the right path, you're going in the right direction. Make plans for this abundance, because it is coming, right? Practice being loving and accepting of everything that comes your way, and allowing yourself the pleasure of this abundance. Okay, pile 3, I love you all. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. If you would like a personal reading, you can purchase those from me, personal ancestral reading, where the cards are not limited, a really deep dive into anything in particular, or it can just be general, whatever's coming through. Also, check out my Instagram, because I am giving away a free reading for the luckiest day of the year. And yeah, enjoy this luckiest day of the year. Manifest all the beautiful good things that you want to do. And if you forget to do it today, you can always do it tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe if this resonated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.